next speaker is David Thornton. David has been a member of Toastmasters for over 14 years. Along with working towards his Distinguished Toastmaster Award, David is also on his first path in Pathways, Presentation Mastery. He is currently working on Level 2. Warning, tonight Dave will be presenting a speech on the very serious and very sensitive topic of sexual harassment. Did you guys plan this?
No.
Yes, my mouth is wide open.
The title of Dave's speech is Sexual Harassment at the TED Talk Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, David Thornton.
Last year, November 2017, I was shocked when I read an online news report on the Washington Post website about accusations of sexual harassment made by women who attended a TED Talk conference. How many people in the audience know about TED Talk? Now, for those of you who don't know, TED Talk is part of the TED Conferences LLC, which is a nonprofit organization created back in 1984, whose mission is to spread ideas in a form of short, powerful talks that are a maximum of 18 minutes or less. The name TED, T-E-D, stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. TED Talk speakers give presentations on various topics such as science, business, and global issues. Past TED Talk speakers include former Microsoft Chief Executive Bill Gates, scientist Richard Dawkins, and former Vice President Al Gore. The TED Talk conference costs $10,000 to attend. In addition to the talks, the conference offers buffet, alcoholic beverages, and workshops to keep the attendees occupied. In this presentation, I will provide a summary of that news report, including some of the incidents that took place and the actions that were taken to prevent similar incidents from happening. There are people who join Toastmasters with aspirations of becoming TED Talk speakers. I believe this information is crucial for anyone who wants to enter that environment. Throughout the year 2017, Chris Anderson, the owner of TED Conferences LLC, and other senior officials have been dealing with accusations of sexual harassment that took place at the conferences. According to interviews and internal emails that were reviewed by the Washington Post, at least 5 people, including a past main stage speaker, complained to TED officials that they were harassed or touched inappropriately during the organization's conference that took place in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, back in 2017. TED Conferences LLC's chief attorney, Nishat Ruter, stated in an email sent to TED senior leadership in April 2017, she was also touched inappropriately, but decided to let it go. She also stated that she found it difficult to believe the issue was effectively being addressed by TED conferences and not enough was being done. TED Conferences LLC issued a statement to the Washington Post acknowledging that several incidents had occurred at the Vancouver event and the organization had taken action. In a statement, TED Conferences LLC stated, quote, "We did hear from a small number of women attendees at TED 2017 about harassment. As a result, 2 men were immediately disinvited and won't be returning," end quote. In addition to that, TED Conferences stated, quote, "Creating a safe and welcoming environment is critical to the success of our conferences. We have no tolerance for harassment of any kind. As soon as we heard there were issues at our conferences in 2017, we took immediate action to address the specific allegations, then work with leading experts to upgrade our code of conduct. Today we made the code of conduct extremely clear to all TED conference attendees." and encourage our community to report violations, end quote. One complaint that triggered the email exchange between senior TED officials was filed by a longtime female attendee who said she was sexually harassed and offered different kinds of drugs. The incident was so bad that she decided to leave the conference and told TED Conference's owner, Chris Anderson, that it would be her last time attending a TED conference. Anderson forwarded that complaint to his leadership team, saying he did not want to overstate what was in the complaint, but he thought that as leaders of that organization, they need to seriously think about ways to do more to prevent incidents like that from happening. Tom Riley, the organization's director of partnerships, wrote a response saying that harassment at these conferences have been going on for years. Riley also suggested that alcohol could be a factor that is causing the misconduct. Anderson, Riley, and other members of the senior leadership team discussed ways to address the problem of sexual harassment in their email exchanges. Part of that discussion was deciding whether or not to make an announcement from the stage about an anonymous hotline created in November of 2016 that would forward complaints to the TED leadership. They also discussed communicating a zero-tolerance policy for sexual harassment of attendees with clear guidelines that included banning harassment of any kind, including unwelcome sexual attention and inappropriate physical contact, and penalties for any behavior that violates that policy, and also provide a formal process to handle complaints. More importantly, according to Tom Riley, the first step to addressing the issue is to admit that there is a serious problem. For years in the news, there have been stories about sexual harassment in the workplace, and recently in Hollywood. This story about TED Talks proves that no industry or organization is excluded from the issue of sexual harassment. The only difference is that a lot more women are making their stories known, and hopefully this will lead to a safer environment for women as well as everyone. This is Toastmasters.
Thank you, Dave.
Well done.